What's up, people? What's going on, YouTubers? How's it going tonight? I hope everyone's having a good night. We got Derek that way. I got it right that way from
Going on, brother?
Drago's Pythons, and we're gonna put on another show for you guys tonight. How you doing, dude?
Doing pretty good.
I mean, how's your day?
Doing good so far. Ready. I'm so glad to be off work, though. I'll tell you that.
What do you do for work?
I work at a Superior Van Mobility as a technician for
Ah,
is for a handicap converted vans.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yep.
we're just gonna dive right into this because actually there's a lot on the morph market news this week. I mean, usually you might get one story, maybe two. Like there was four to go over this week, and I kind of picked three of them because it was a lot. But the first thing they're advertising is continuous automatic ad renewal. So, like what they're saying there is instead of your ad being on there for like a year and getting lost in a shuffle, like people are supposed to update it anyways. So you know what I mean. Instead of it just getting an update, it kind of gets jumped back up to the front. So it says, "Hey, don't forget about me."
Okay.
That's kind of how I took it. How do you think about it? What do you? I mean, do you think that's a good idea for them to start something like that? Like, what's your opinions on
So you're saying if they're
continuous
not getting as
automated
many
ad
views,
renewal?
so if they're not getting as many views on their listings, they'll do that as a promotion type thing?
Well, they're putting it out there that this is an upgrade that they're doing to the initial morph market.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've never been on morph market. I've never posted an ad. So I'm not
Yeah, I
sure
haven't.
how the process works. But from
Right.
viewing morph market, it's just like, okay, so I could see how things could get lost back into shuffle because someone posts 500 snakes. Where's that put your snake?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So as far as the listings coming in and them going out,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I think that would be good. That way, whenever you are browsing, you're not just seeing the same snakes all the time. Some of them will be put up at the type of the listing. And I wonder if they're going to go into it, like, say, if you're looking for Mojave Inchi, instead of it having all the other ones with different traits in it, will it be posted up at the top as well of what you're
right.
specifically looking for?
Okay, so reading through what I wrote down here about it, like this is genius here in my mind because how often these ad renews, it depends on your level that you subscribe to. Like if you're like a regular level,
Right.
so like the higher level you go in, like a gold member or whatever, if you're at the top, it's probably getting renewed monthly. If you're like, I don't know the figures of that, but that's kind of how they're doing it. And I mean, that's a pretty good marketing strategy. Like to get your snakes moved up to the front, like every month you have to pay a little bit more
Yeah,
money.
because yeah, it depending on what the rates are on the packages, that would be actually a pretty good marketing tool
And,
right
and
there
you
for
get
them.
more snakes. Say it's based off of how many snakes you think you could sell in a year.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know the numbers because I really haven't looked into. I'm sure other people out there knows the numbers. We got quite a few people in here, but like your plan wise, what plan you pick, and I'm sure it's specified how often these automatic ad renewals are. So if you got a morph market account and you're sitting there wondering about this, I would definitely look into this
Let's check
because
it out. I got an
if you're
account.
right there on the
I
border
got an
of
account.
right, but if you're right there on the border of the other ad, maybe it's
Right.
better to go up instead of going down this year. I don't
True.
know, put the extra money, get the extra adding or publicity. The extra ads might lead to
Yeah,
more sales,
maybe we need to look into that and see what the rates are, Like,
right?
and that's my further plans too, Ken. Once we do get rolling, and having some babies and stuff, we're gonna look more into that. Right now, I hadn't really been looking too far in depth in that.
See, dude, I'm too worried and planning out my snakes to worry about this stuff. This stuff I could start it in 10 minutes. Just like
Right.
the next thing I'm going to get into on Morph Market is called Cold Blooded. And
Okay.
today I became a member on Herp Social. This is that thing that Billy's pushing in 2 minutes. Like it's a very simple application to get on. And they send you an email back, and you click this email, and then basically, you can put as much information out there about yourself as you want. You know what I
Really?
mean? Like it's just a place to buy, sell, you know, network your snakes, talk snakes, whatever. Just like a Facebook for snakes, and that's cool. Well, Morph Market is following suit with their own brand of that called Cold Blooded, and it's a new social media platform that is going to be tied in with your Morph Market account. So
Okay.
I mean, I feel that they had to do it to not get left behind. You know what I
True.
mean?
And see, I
Because
didn't
what?
know Cold Blooded was doing that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that this is that website that they're calling. I don't think it has anything to do with a breeder itself or a breeder's name. That's just what they're calling their social media platform
Uh,
for everyone to go do or tie in their morph markets with it. I'm going to do
see,
both. I mean, when I get enough snakes and enough inventory to have the Husbandry Pro, I'm going to have Husbandry Pro tied to this Herp Social, and I'm going to have a Morph Market tied to this Cold Blooded, and it's just actually putting yourself out there more.
yeah, that way you can make it a complete circle with them.
Yep, you could have two
That's a good
complete
strategy.
circles basically going at
Definitely.
once.
Right, right. And see, I hadn't really looked into much of the advertising, Kim. Like I said, I'm doing it more of a hobby, but
Right?
like I said, once we get up there, I'm pretty sure you probably got a lot more females that are gonna be going than me, but trying to keep it on a low, probably like somewhere around 12 females.
Well, I got 17 females right now, and 11 of them had locked this year. I do not think they're all going to go, but when these eggs start coming, they're going to start coming. They're coming. And I got some stuff. I mean, and hopefully these odds hit. Like
Right.
I don't have nothing DG this year, but it more and less sounds like, you know, um, DG might take a little bit of a dive because of this thing coming out. Like I don't know if everyone heard Glenn. Sorry, but like it's just we don't do open panels on the night, or I would. I mean, maybe later if we stay on, I'll send you the link. But yeah, it's just like 101, and then when I have open panels, I invite out. But thanks for offering to come up though. That's cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's just Morph Market had to I think, step up their game to keep up with this Herp Social and Husbandry Pro thing because everyone said, "Hey, this is free." Now Morph Market,
Definitely.
you still got to pay for your account, but you got to pay for Husbandry Pro. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting. We are in a very exciting time as ball python breeders because we're getting genetic testing done on stuff. We're
And see,
we're
I
getting
don't even know how that works yet.
yeah. Well, basically, you take your shed, you dry it out, make sure it's dried all the way through, put it in a baggie, and then mail it to these people when they test it, and they could tell you whether it's at this or at that.
And when you do that, is it something like they're testing for everything, or
It's specific things right now, but if you think about if they get everything, you know what I mean? Like 10 years from now, what is the genetics going to be like?
it's gonna be crazy? It's gonna be
It's
crazy.
going to be basically pretty easy for us just to go,
Definitely.
you know, and Charlie from Gray Rider Reptiles, he was on Adam's Proper Royals' channel tonight. And that guy, he's doing it himself in his house. He's a breeder
Really,
that now has the capability of testing some things.
that'd
I
be
mean,
interesting to see how they do that, though.
yeah, that's something that I would just, if I get the money to do that, I want to do that, all that. I
Yeah,
mean, wouldn't it be cool just to take that out like you would know? Like, I'm going to test this shed and see exact. There is no grow up. It's test it
yeah,
and see.
definitely. And then you could do it on their first shift.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, talking about genetic testing, slides right into the third thing I wanted to talk about. It's not that long, but Morph Market just basically put out that they can now do the genetic testing for G stripe, black pastel, and Enchi. So that's added to their list of what they could test for. Have you ever heard the full list? Looked into the full list?
No, sir, I hadn't.
I have the full list here. I can read it
I
for
went
you.
on there one time and seen it. I think they said what it was, $65.
Yeah, it's $65 to get a single test done. Hey,
kid,
Lexi,
right,
a
right.
single
So you
test.
got
It's
12
like
snakes.
125 for a panel, and their panel includes all these,
Okay, okay, all the
albino, asphalt, black pastel, candy toffee, clown, NG genetic stripe, gravel, hypo, lavender albino, pied, spark, specter, and yellow belly.
okay, yeah, it's a pretty big list so far.
I mean, could you imagine if we're able to send that shed in and they could tell you every gene that's
Everything,
in that
right?
snake?
Yeah, that'd be worth it. I'd say I'd wait for it to be something like that because that'd be pretty cool.
I would want to do that to every snake in my collection.
Right, but how much would something like that cost, though? You know,
And
if
they're like
it's
125 per snake.
okay,
To do a full panel. Now, if they have all those in, everything, if it's tested for everything, it'd probably go up. But you
right,
could probably narrow it down what you want to test for.
right,
What's up,
right.
Carlos? All right, before we get into questions, let's go back and see who was in here. Blakers, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Greg from Reptile, thanks for coming in. He's a good dude there. Joe Bartley, thanks for coming in. Hey, Kara, what's up? Thanks for stopping in. Slow night tonight. There's a bunch of people going long, but it happens. Kent from Craft Brew, thanks for coming in.
And you got Animal House live too, I believe.
No, the Animal House, they go live. That's why I moved back to 9:30. I was on originally at 9, and then I jumped back to 9:30 because Justin usually went over 9 a little bit, but he wasn't going tonight because he's got kidney stones, and that's some scary situations there. Mr. Litch,
Definitely.
thanks for coming in, buddy. Glenn, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. And then, of course, my daughter, Lexi. Thank you for watching me. Carlos, what's up, dude? Fries, how's it going?
Real.
Will's hella heat. Thanks for coming in, dude. And we got Nick. What up, Nick? Thanks for coming in, dude. I don't know, Nick. I'm sure you guys got to know him the last couple of weeks. Like, what he does isn't for say what us normal breeders do, but I just kind of like what he does. He just puts his males into a cycle and it breeds it to his females, and then he gets to guess what male actually impregnated with his eggs. And that I kind of want to do that with a female just to play that game and see if I could guess. That's how much I like this shit. It's just fun. It's not all about the money, but
right, definitely.
What's up, Justin? Thanks for coming in. But
I don't
Nick,
think I'm
I
really
like what you're doing. Keep it up, buddy.
Clutches though, but I mean, who knows?
All right, we're a little behind schedule, or ahead of schedule, I should say. But we got a couple more questions than the usual. I think I had 16 this week. Usually I might do 10, 11, 12. But so introduce yourself. Who are you, and how long have you been doing the reptiles?
I'm Derek with Drago's Pythons. Been doing it for, I could tell you right now exactly.
That's why I like it. I like what you do because
4/12/2022 is when we bought our first Python, right? And her name's Nagini, and she was 65 grams.
Heck yeah.
It's something that me and my wife been doing. I had a ball python when I first met her 7 years ago, but we got rid of it. Actually, my neighbor was a breeder probably about 6.5 years ago. Man, it was pretty crazy. And I was like, I don't even know what it is, and I brought him outside, popped him, and he was like, it's a male, I was like, well, dude, you want the tank? Take the whole shebang, and we gave it to him. And here we are 7 years later, man. The wife was talking in the bed with me one day, and she was like, I think I want a reptile. And I was like, well, what would you like? And she was naming some crazy stuff, and I was just like, you know how much it is to take care of one of them things? I was like, why don't you just get a python? You know, low
Right.
maintenance, easy to take care of. You know, it's not too bad. You know, so but I'll show you Nagini now.
Fungus
And
Queen, thanks for coming in.
she's 13 months old,
She's got some good size on her.
and that's Nagini. And as of right now, she's 1,700 grams.
Oh yeah,
So
she's getting there.
yeah,
All
but
right.
yeah,
So next
that's how
question I
long we've
got
been
is,
doing.
what's that?
So 13 months now.
13 months. Well, I'm a little ahead of
13
you. I
months.
bought mine last March, so it's probably about 15 months for me. I'm not that far ahead of you, dude. But what's your normal day like? I mean, you were saying that you do handicap stuff like
Oh yeah,
transportation.
normal day. Get up, go to work. From 8 to 5. Work on accessible vehicles, vulnerabilities. You know, VMIs, lifts,
Right.
platform lifts, scooter lifts. Basically anything. All you
Make
need. You
sure they
know,
function
transfer
right.
seats. Right. Transfer seats, hand controls. You know,
Right.
foot controls, left foot accelerators. Anything you could do basically to make a van accessible for the needs. You know. So
Right.
go
Heck
do
yeah.
that, and then after work, come back on here and take care of a lot of animals.
Yeah.
So
So don't
especially
you
out in
got
the
leopard
shed.
geckos too?
Yeah, no crested geckos. We got 14 crested geckos.
I thought they was leopards, but yeah, crusteds. Yeah.
We got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 snakes and a rat shed. The rat shed's been doing, give or take. I don't know if anybody out there breeds rats, but I mean it ain't just that easy. I mean it is. You put the male and the female in there together, right? But
You'll get babies.
I got a bunch of new females coming up right now, and basically out of 11 babies, I'm only finding 3. One of them, the mamas, just yesterday buried all 12 of them, suffocated and killed them. I went out there today. She had a litter of 11 yesterday, and only 3 are surviving. So I'm
Somebody
going
asked
through
me if I
a
like
little bit of a
dildo
hiccup.
pizza.
Oh, shit.
That's some funny shit. I've never heard it called that before. All right. So, what social media platforms do you have, and what is your future plans with them?
uh, Platforms. We got just the YouTube channel,
Right.
and what else there is? The Instagram, the IG account, and that's it.
Right.
That's it. As far as where I'm going with them, really, I don't have just a future in it, like per se. You know what I'm saying? Like I said from the jump, this is just a hobby. I'm really not trying to be making no money off of it now. If it comes when I have babies that can help me with what I've invested, you know, on taking care of my kids, that's what me and the wife call them. This is our family, you know. I
Right.
don't plan on having any kids, you know. I can't for medical reasons, but
Right.
I
So
want to.
your snakes are your kids. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able to do this, you know. So if selling a few snakes, you know, once I get populated pretty good here, that could help me with that. But as far as going somewhere with it, I mean, I'm just trying to tell my story, maybe help somebody out there, you know, and give you an honest view of what we do and what it takes, you know,
Hell yeah.
and step by step on what I'm learning as well as what I could be doing and the steps that I'm taking on every process, whether it's the breeding, the cleaning, caretaking, you know, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
So more or
That
less a story, you know, like a storyline.
that's
So,
how I kind of look at it. Like I want to be able to go back and look and see how I've grown throughout the years. You know what I mean? I go back and watch some of my first videos now, and I'm like, wow,
right,
like
I've done that too, and I was like, "What
it's
the
funny. It's funny to see
hell?"
how you grow. It is
Yeah,
cool.
definitely,
So, what is
definitely.
like a short term goal of yours, like within the next year or two?
Short term. Oh, but then like next 2 years, Ken. Let's
Yeah,
see. To be honest with you, we're gonna go ahead and say I wanna go ahead and breed my first clutch. You know,
right.
so it'll probably be my albino pinstripe and my Mojave Inchi, either that or Mojave Inchi to the female pastel 100% Xanthics VPI. That's what I'm looking at right now. Anything else is too young. You know, we got a super banana, got the banana pastel pod that we're gonna work with the pod. Want to get a
Right.
aquarium to go up in there with that. But just for the next year or so, it's just to get my first clutch on the ground. You know, get into the incubating because you know you can only do so much, right? When you're watching the videos, right? Because
Right.
I watch a lot of people, you know, and you just get advice from each person. You know, there's certain things that I've taken from certain people on YouTube that I feel that they do the best in, and I try to put it into what I'm doing here and see how
Right.
it works. So we got some plans on doing that. You know, we don't even have an incubator at this time, but we got something on the way that's gonna work. But and we're gonna invest in that and do that. So we're gonna see how that goes. We'll make a video on it because I'm not gonna buy an incubator because I looked them up and you know
They're not hard to make.
1100 due for an 8 clutch
Yeah.
that's
Right.
gonna fit. I think it's like what it was. I think it was like 3.6 cubic feet or something like that for
Yeah.
$850. I want to say. And then you can jump online, and that's the first thing I do. It's okay. Well, how can we make this, right? And I was like, okay, well, it's not that bad. I can make that same thing for like 350, $400, you know.
Even less.
So,
Right.
so
Someone's talking about human trafficking in the chat. So I don't know if I want to go back and read all that, but you guys have fun with that. What is a long term goal of yours? Like say 10 years.
um, 10 years. Uh, to not have too many snakes,
Not have too
but
many. That's a good goal. That's a good goal to
but
have. I mean, if
but
you're already
consistently
saying,
breeding something new, you know.
right,
So
that's pretty good.
I always want to have something new be coming in, maybe every 3 to 4 years, you know.
All right.
I
Hey,
think that
Missy,
would
how's
be
it going?
actually that'd be really nice for us here. So, and we're doing some pretty basic genes. You know, we're not gonna get nothing too crazy, right? But
Right.
I mean, like it's a nice hobby though. I really like it. I like the lighter colored snakes. They're very beautiful. So
Right.
that's what we're gonna stick with. And I'm going for more of looks. You know, a lot of people want to say, "Oh, well, this gene's worth this much money, and this gene's worth this much money." You know, I'm not here to put a price on any particular snakes, you know, but I like the more vibrant colors and stuff like that. So
I think
that's what I'm shooting for.
he might be one of them reptilian people. I think that's coming from your channel because it has a chain link on it.
So yeah,
Is
so that's
Joe
where we're
Biden
coming.
a reptile? I think so. You may be right.
So that's what we're
All
going
right.
for.
So, my next question is, what is one piece of advice you would go back and give your 18-year-old self?
Uh, Never to give up in anything that you're trying to do or trying to accomplish, you know.
Right? Stay persistent.
That's right. And keep doing what
I'd go
you.
back and say, it ain't all about women, dude. Go take care of you first, and then worry about the women.
Right, definitely,
All right.
definitely. You want to have found yourself before you do anything like that.
So, who are some of the people that you watched? I mean, you don't have to get into all of them, but some of the people that you watched that got you into this or taught you something like on YouTube.
Uh, Watch a lot of Blue Line Morphs, Baker over there at Blue Line Morphs.
All right.
What else? Mutation Creation.
Right.
I like them
You don't
over
know who
there.
they are, then you're kind of
Right.
you're out there. You're not watching
Definitely.
YouTube, that's for sure.
Definitely. Nah, don't get me wrong. We ain't got no crazy stuff like they got, but
Right.
it's nice, you know, to get on their page and just start from where they started too, you know, because I've done
Mhm.
that. I've started off at their first videos, you know, and check them
Wow.
out and
Mhm.
see where they started and where they are today. So I just envision myself something like that, you know. Not big enough, you know. I mean,
But just like
I enjoy my 9 to 5 job. I really do.
right.
You know, I'm not trying to
So you don't
find
ever want to do
escape
this
or
full time. This is just going to be a hobby.
Yeah, it's just a hobby, That's all it is,
All right.
I
Well, hey,
mean,
we need people like you in this hobby too, or business
I
hobby,
like that,
whatever way
man.
you want to look at it. I
Right,
mean,
right. Now
all right.
I do want to get into the reptile shows and stuff. That'd be one of my other little
So like
further
a
dreams
side
for like
hustle.
about two, 2 or 3 years. Like basically the use the shows and stuff like that as like if we have 10 or 15 females or eight or so like that. You got 60 eggs. You're only gonna hold back maybe what six, depending on what you're doing, right, and where you're going
Maybe
with
you
your
might hold them
clutch,
back
right?
all.
Right. You may, right? But just have another side thing where I could get rid of some if I really needed to, go to the show, stuff like that. And once I do get to the show, I do plan on doing some racks and stuff like that for the rats and stuff,
Just
and
upgrading
also
slowly, building as you go.
right, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
So,
We got what?
who is one breeder that you wouldn't mind to work a project with?
Um, I'd have to say Blue Line Moors, Baker over there, Blue Line Moors.
Right? That's a different answer. I mean, I like asking that question because
Yeah,
you
definitely.
hear a lot of people talk about their local guys that are with
I
them,
like it.
around
I
them that's
like the
got,
stranger
cool
projects
stuff
and
that
stuff.
aren't really out there. Now Baker's out
Yeah,
there in Blue Line. Like I know who they are. They're pretty cool people. I haven't really got to meet them yet or talk to them much yet, but they seem pretty cool. But you just see, a lot of different names with that question. You don't always see Justin or Billy. Now, not to
right,
say
definitely.
that would be awesome, but just I don't know. I'd rather work with someone that's I don't know a little bit. That's my person. You know what I mean? It's a person
Yeah.
like me, and like that's a great question. I love asking it. And if you had one wish, what would it be?
Um, mm,
Jeopardy music.
Probably to be rich so we could buy some more snakes, huh?
Money would be nice. I mean, yeah,
I mean, there ain't really too much that I could wish for, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm pretty blessed as it is. It came from a lot of things that people don't talk about. So, I mean, I couldn't really just wish for too much, to be honest with you. I got pretty much what I need,
right. It was
So,
about 2 months ago. And I just woke up in the morning in a good mood, and I was sitting there, and I meditate at times, So I had a really good morning meditation, and I just was like, well, damn, I think this is the happiest that I've ever felt in life, like ever, right now. And it was
definitely.
just me in the room, with my freaking snakes, you know what I mean? And I really like doing this. I want this to be successful so I could do this for the rest of my life. If that happens, then I'm going to live a very rewarding life in my eyes because it's just
Right.
fucking cool. It's just
Definitely.
fucking cool to me. So, your one wish, you can't really answer that. But all right, so money is a thing, because you won the Powerball. How far are you taking your reptile game? Say if you won 100 million in the Powerball,
100 million?
100 million.
Okay.
Are you going full blown facility, like, aquarium, like having some
Yeah,
sharks and dolphins and
I
lions and
wouldn't.
tigers and shit?
No, I wouldn't do nothing that crazy, but I would get a facility at that point, and I would stop working, and I'd have fish in one part and reptiles in the other part, and it'd be
Right.
something that me and the wife would do, even if we didn't just make too much money. I'd be set with that amount of money, right? I wouldn't need anything else after
Yeah,
that.
right.
I just use it wisely and spend accordingly, right?
Right.
And do
So,
something like that.
so you're
So
going to
that's
get
honestly what
just
I
get
would do.
enough to
Right,
be satisfied with, not go overboard.
right.
See, I'd
And
probably
spread
go
the
overboard
love.
and be broke in a couple years, but I have
And
all this
spread
shit.
the
So,
right and spread the love of the reptiles, man.
yeah,
So I couldn't
right,
beat it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do.
right.
So
I mean, I'm sure if I would be fortunate like that one day, that other people around me would have more than I would have for myself. Because I mean, how much could you really spend on reptiles? I mean, is
definitely.
a million? would probably be enough for me. But if you got 100 million, what the heck are you really going to spend that on? Like,
Right.
I'm
But Ken, you
investing a
got
lot of
people
it.
out there that would win that and they'd be broke in a week,
Yeah, well, I
which
would
I don't
invest a
really
lot of it.
understand. Which I don't understand because like most people out here is making what $36,000 a month, and y'all spending that and
Right,
living. So why would you spend any much more? You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's how I'd live.
I mean, I would
That's
have
how I
nice
do.
things, and I would still just live the life that I live now. Probably they say money will
And
change it. Well, I came from nothing. You know what I mean?
yeah, no,
So
it wouldn't change me. Who
money
is
just
who
buy
I
me
am.
some cool shit, and probably everyone around me some cool shit.
Yeah, definitely, really would. It
I
really
wouldn't
would, but
need
I
no
wouldn't
big,
be.
huge, like
Yeah,
fantastic house. Now I would do solar power and shit. You know,
yeah,
I'd make it
definitely.
totally energy efficient because I did geothermal for 15 years. I mean, that's pretty cool shit. I mean, it would definitely be ran off of hot forced water, like with a pump, and like yeah, that's some
But
cool shit.
that's definitely what I would do. Do things that are going to be beneficial for you. In your
And,
facility. So,
and like your fish tanks and stuff, like you could even heat them
oh man, yeah,
off of the
they'd
geothermal.
be like floor to ceiling fish tank. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, right. And you could heat them. I mean, we used to
Right.
have three systems that we installed and maintained. We had to go back there like I'd say once every year to change out a circulator pump or um, you know a electrical relay or something. You know what I mean? Because we built it all like personalized for this house, the wiring and everything. There was no circuit boards. It's all relays, contactors, time delays, and the transformers ground up everything, and we got this thing to work. Now I didn't figure the wiring out. Wiring's not my forte. But to work, give
Definitely.
me a diagram. I'll run your or pipes anywhere you want them. It'll be neat. This that I used to build the geothermal units from the ground up. There's still a video of me doing it online. Geothermalheatpump.com. You see me 4 or 5 times in there doing all different jobs because that's what I did. Everything. Now I'm broke, like body broke. Not money broke, body broke. Where the fuck was I? This is what happens when I smoke too much before I come on. All right, if you had one superpower, what would it be?
uh, Probably to read animals' minds.
Read animals' minds
Yeah, to see what they're really thinking.
and see what they really think. Now, see, like, it's funny
You
that
know,
you say something like that. I mean, like, I've
you
told this
never
story in
know.
a couple chats, but it was just like maybe 3 weeks ago. Like, I was out helping a friend cut grass, and he was over the neighbor's house, and I was at his house, and these two dark deer come out from around the back of the house, and one of them, dude, it was this little shit, like this big, and it was running. Its legs are all up here. It was all uncoordinated. So I'm like, that thing's like maybe a day or two old. Well, I just continue cutting grass, do one lap, come back, and that mom's over there. Like I seen the baby shoot off into the flower bed. That mom's sitting there like getting up on her hind legs, smacking down. So me
Wow.
being me, I walked up all nice and slow, and picked up that baby deer that was like 2 days old, carried it to the wood line with its mom right there on my tail. Like it was just a cool experience. And it was like when I was walking up to that baby, I was looking at that mom like, I'm here to help, trying to help you. And like I picked that thing up and it didn't say a word. I mean, I had it like right here in my arm, like this, caught on it, you know. And I went round to the back of the house and I tried to get his attention. He was running the weed whacker at the time, and I yelled. And when I yelled, that deer started freaking out. Bah, bah. Mom
Wow.
started
Why you
getting a
was
little
holding it?
upset. She's starting to snort and stuff. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, you're a deer, not a goat. Shut up." And like, cause it sounded like a goat. Like it just reminded me of a goat. And it looked back at me and gave me like the saddest little like whimper, like its bottom lip trembled. It was like melted into like this 6'2", 250 guy's pound heart, a big manly guy. I'm sitting there, oh, you poor little thing. I walk over to the woods. I set it down and I like tapped it on the butt a little bit to get it to move, like get it in the woods. That mother deer just like stayed right there between 5, 10 feet from me and followed me all the way back. It was really fucking cool. Like,
Yes, indeed.
that'll never
I ain't
happen
seen no
again.
shit like that. Yeah, that won't never happen. I ain't seen
Yeah,
nothing
that'll
like
never
that.
happen again.
That's crazy.
And it's just like my phone was in the truck. I was thinking about getting pictures and recording it and shit, but that was something I had to do right now, or that thing was going to take off.
Right.
So I chose to do it and not record it. And now people's going
Definitely.
to debate me my whole life whether it happened or not. Read animals' minds, though. That's a weird one. I mean, I think invisibility would be cool. I mean, then you could just do whatever you want. Turn invisibility. You need money. Go invisible. Go take it. My
Definitely.
morals would be all screwed up if I was invisible.
Definitely.
Um, all right. So outside of the reptiles in general, do you have any other hobbies or interests?
No, no, really. That's my hobby. The reptiles, and we're doing some fish now too. So,
All right.
nothing just too big to be honest. But yeah, that's about it.
What kind of
And going
what
to
kind of
dinner
fish
and
you want
stuff.
to get
But
into?
fish.
Yeah. What kind of fish you want to get into?
The wife's getting into some goldfish. Not on a breeding aspect, but just as far as some few tanks, you
All
know,
right.
scattered throughout the house, kind of thing.
Now you're down in like what, Louisiana area down there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Would you
sir. Down
Are you
south.
thinking about doing like outside ponds with goldfish and koi fish and stuff
Uh,
like that?
maybe one day in a great future.
So
Maybe in
that's
a
not
great
really that
future.
hard. I mean, if you're doing your own work, like them ponds aren't really all that hard.
Yeah, yeah. It shouldn't be too hard. You can keep them outside
Depends how big you
fairly
want it.
fairly easy. Right,
Mm,
definitely. Then you gotta dig it up and all that, get your pump going, and
all right.
I mean, we just got this 75-gallon tank set up right here. Gonna do a little something, something right there.
That's a pretty big tank.
So yeah, it's 75 gallon.
See, I like
Something
when I had
slight.
ASFs, I was doing them in like a 75-gallon tank like that. And now that heavy
Right,
ass thing's outside because changing that was hard as hell. You know, I had to constantly move it. I'm surprised I never broke it, but it's
but yeah,
still out there in one piece.
well, I'm doing the snake stuff. The wife's gonna handle all the fish things. So,
Yeah,
but
well,
she's got a nice little setup. I mean, she's got like a
right.
village pump that she throws in the tank, pumps it out quick, and then big old drum full of water that she dechlorinates and pump it right in real quick. Some
Right.
easy stuff for her.
Easy
But
stuff.
I just do the heavy lifting for
I
her.
just
So
never got into fish, dude. I mean, they
yeah,
never struck my interest. I mean, like, I will say, like the coral, the corals are cool. You know,
yeah,
and they
definitely.
just sit there and grow. You know what I mean? It's like kind of an underwater plant. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't like fish. I mean,
I like
I'll eat
the
fish.
goldfish are pretty cool to watch
I
though.
like to go fishing, but to sit there and watch it swim around in a tank. I mean, you can't really interact with it. What, you could sit there and tap it and watch it, look at your finger. I just always was
Right.
bored with them.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, just like a bird. We had a bird when we was younger. We had parakeets, and what could I really do with a fucking parakeet? I don't like his thing.
Yeah, we had a parakeet too before, and then my dad brought this lamp home that was from the barge on the river.
Uh huh.
And he turned that light up on there and flipped it up. And man, that bird bloop, fell upside down, died, had a heart attack or something. I was like, damn, that's a strong ass light.
That's funny. Holy
I was
hell!
like,
Killed it
I
right
was like
there.
that.
Just killed it.
I was,
A
I
light.
was like, that's a light. Yeah, it's those
Wow.
flashing those light beams on the barges that they shine like that
Uh huh.
when they coming
Yeah.
down the river. Yeah, he took one of them home and lit it up in the house. You should have seen it. It was like a light, like a like that. Yeah, you look over at the birds upside down, bro. I was like,
Oh
damn.
wow.
Yeah,
God
that was
damn.
crazy.
A light that killed a bird. I do believe I heard it all now.
Definitely, that was
Oh
some
wow.
crazy shit.
All
One
right. So
other
this
dude had
next
a heart
question is
attack
going to
too.
make you think a little bit. But Say you wrote a book about your life. What would you title it?
Um, what would I title the name of the book?
What's up, Smay? Thanks for coming in, bud.
Uh,
Nice seeing you. Told you this one was going to make you think a minute.
I'd say a life story book about myself.
Just a life
I think
story.
it'd be I think it'd be pretty interesting to hear. You know, I got some crazy stories.
All right. Well, tell us one of the crazy stories that would be in your book.
But so okay. So when it first this was probably back in, let's say, 2003, when I was living down in by Perez. So
Okay.
we'd catch a lot of snakes. We had at the end of the street there was a dead end street, and we had a
Right.
dirt bike track back there that we built, with berms and everything. So we'd catch a lot of snakes back then. Didn't really, do too much research on it. Didn't have computers and stuff, but we was
Right.
catching a bunch of snakes, and I'd always have a bucket full of snakes. But there's this one day we went back there, and I was catching the snakes, lifted up the plywood, and I grabbed them. Big old black snake, grayish looking snake, and I walked them all the way home. And I went inside with my dad's like, "What the hell are you holding?" I was like, "Man, this is a snake." And he was like, "Son, don't let go of that snake." I said, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "Did it bite you?" And I'm like, "No, dude." He's like, "Give me that thing." It was a water moccasin, dude.
Damn.
Yes, caught it with my bare hands, dude. I was like, I was tripping. I was like, yeah.
Well,
That was
goddamn.
crazy.
Must have
Yeah.
been not too much of an angry one because them
No,
water
no.
moccasins could get.
We would catch we would basically, I guess you could say, we would breed grass snakes outside. What we'd do is take the plywood, and
Hmm.
we had a big old field in the back of my friend's house because it was like a dead end street, like I was saying. And we'd put them in the grass, let the grass grow about this high, and then fold the plywood over top of it and let it sit there for like 2 months. And the snakes, the garden snakes, would come under there, lay their eggs, because the sun would hit on it, incubate the eggs for them and stuff. And like you'd be able to go out there and catch as many of them as you wanted. And I just had so happened to run across that water moccasin that day, not knowing what it was. I just thought it was a new type of snake.
Right.
Definitely.
Just thought it was something new.
Right. I found out quick though.
That
It
that's
was
a
crazy.
hell of a thing to think it's a new snake. But I have like I don't know like these town or two over because we grew up in the sticks, and there was all these ponds and shit. It was like common for us teenagers to be fishing, but we had actually
Right.
met these dudes before just fishing around. They was right around our age, but fucking both of them died. And basically, I guess what had happened is they caught night crawlers the night before, went
Okay.
fishing, stuck their hands in there, and fucking I guess there was baby copperheads in there. They accidentally caught two baby copperheads thinking they was worms, picked them up by their tails. I mean, them things, was just looked like a night crawler, maybe 6 8 inches long, and about as big as your
Right.
pinky. And night crawlers can get pretty fat. I mean, they mistaken them for night crawlers. That's what their parents said. And when they came back to pick them up, because they was like two brothers, one was 15, one was 16, dropped them off at the lake with their bucket of worms. Came back, they was both sitting like there with their fishing poles in the water, dead because they got tagged on the finger by a baby copperhead. They
Oh,
didn't even know that it don't even look like, anyways, that they knew anything happened. Maybe they
man.
just thought there was something in there that scraped them. But yeah, they opened
Definitely.
that bucket. It was a big, how'd they die? How they die? And well, I opened the
That's
bucket and there was
crazy.
two baby copperheads in their bucket. Yeah, so
That's
I mean,
crazy.
things ain't no joke. Like, count your chickens on that one, dude.
Yes,
God wants
indeed.
you here for a reason.
That's crazy.
So, what is one of your most embarrassing stories of all times?
Uh,
I tell a lot of embarrassing stories about myself. Like, so, I mean, I don't know if I'm crossing the line with that question. But I talked about a
I don't
doctor
know.
sticking a finger up my butt, so I don't think I'm crossing any lines.
Yeah, I ain't had that happen yet. Hopefully not for a couple more years. But
Well, he had banana
embarrassing
fingers.
story.
It wasn't fun.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't
Well,
fun. And then he told me
yeah,
to back up into him. Like that was just the most disgusting like thing I've
yeah.
ever had to do in my life. I did
Yes,
not
indeed.
feel it did not feel good. I did not want him to have it there, and yeah, it kind of hurt. I'm kind of traumatized by it. But, okay, so
Yeah.
what's your embarrassing story? You
So
can't get any embarrassing than that.
it'd have to be a couple months back, sitting outside with the wife. We just, scrolling through, just
Right.
doing some research and stuff, chilling, smoking, just having a good old time. And I had started laughing and coughing, and then I had accidentally farted, but I didn't fart. I had shit on myself. Like seriously, used the bathroom. I was like, dang, because my stomach was hurting from the night before.
Right.
So whatever we ate, I was like, man, so that wasn't cool. I was like, yeah, I had to go
At
take a
least you was
shower and
with her
everything.
for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Could you imagine
Let
being
the
like
cat
on
in
a
on the
second
first date,
date,
huh?
like within a week? You probably wouldn't have been where
Definitely.
you're at now if that happened. But Mitzi asks if you breed your own rats. I know the question, but if you
Yes,
want to answer that,
definitely. Yeah, but let's just show him, Ken.
then go
I need a
ahead.
break anyway, dude. Let's come. Oh yeah, and that's a little setup that we built, a little something swift right there.
All right.
And like you said, you don't know nothing about the fish or nothing, but look, y'all let me know down in the comments. Is this a good filter? Like I said, the wife's going to do all this, but she got this thing gonna go up on it at FX6.
All
But like I
right.
said, that's her gig, She does that. That's the crusty bin right there. All baby crusty gig is.
Mitzi also wants to know whereabouts you live. I know it's Louisiana, but I don't know what city.
Uh, we on the West Bank.
West Bank.
Yes, sir. It's a little dog in the crib right now.
What's up, Phil? Thanks for coming in, bud.
It be
He's walking out to his rat shed at the moment.
locked down like Fort Knox, so, you know.
Her daughter lives in Belle Chase.
Who?
Her Mitzi's daughter lives in Belle Chase.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's not too far. That's probably like 20 minutes.
He's like 20 minutes from there. That's cool.
Yeah, it's probably like 20 minutes right there. All right. I don't know if you could turn this camera around, bro.
There's a way to do it. You go into your camera, the settings at the bottom, you hit camera. I know. Wait, settings. Go to more, and then go to settings, and then go to camera that way.
Like that, huh?
Yep, we
Did it
good.
go? It did it? Yeah,
Yep,
all
I
right,
did it.
there we go. Boom. So yeah, we got some little mice over here that we just really
Right.
trying out. We did get our first little litter back there. So it was probably like 4 of them, I think it was. There's one right there drinking.
Mitzi said she used to live in West Bank.
So okay.
I'm on the East Bank, the best bank. Oh, uh-oh.
So we
She's
got some
starting
little
to,
babies right here.
she's starting
She
to
knows
something
West
up in
Bank's
him.
yeah. So we got some little rats right here. So yeah,
Right.
and then we had a new mama pop up here. Is it this one? Yeah. What? No. Was it no? Because this is Cloud. That's not the new mama. Right here.
Hey,
This one.
Michaela. Thanks for coming in.
She
Always a
had a
pleasure to
few
see
of
you.
them, but only a few of them made it. So,
Right.
but that's a first time mom right there.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, but the plans for this, we got another rack right here. Uh, the plans for that, I got another one that I'm gonna build. I got the
Right.
things for it right there. I just gotta put the screen on it, and we're gonna put another one there, and probably one here, two here, and we're
Right.
gonna do these big bins too, though. We're gonna do the big bins.
Yeah, get
You
the
know.
bigger bins.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the bigger bins for the grow outs and stuff like that. I thought about getting
Right.
a metal a metal tub, one of those big ones, you know, like the calf drinkers or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought about getting something like that, but I really hadn't checked too far into it, to be honest
I
with
mean,
you.
you
So
could stack those on top of each other, just drill a couple holes in the metal to get some circulation. I mean, I was kind of thinking of another way just to do it was stacking them. You would just have to cover that top one, do something to cover the holes. These things can get a little expensive though,
what's
but
that?
that's not bad. That's not a bad idea. But
What's that?
what is something these reptiles have done for you that you didn't expect they would do in the beginning?
Um, give me a way to clear my mind. You know, I like spending the time and taking care of them. You know, and stuff
Right?
like that. I'm not just going. I'm not in it to make no money, to be honest with you. So I'm not doing it to like mass quantity stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right?
I enjoy coming in here and doing this. You know, I really do. That's what I do. You know, that's why I got them AC in here for the rats. You know, and I could easily do it without it, but I'm gonna give them the best they can. You know, like
So here
and
you go. Here you go, dude. So my question is, are you selling rats now or planning to? I've been looking for someone in Louisiana to buy rats from.
definitely. We're gonna be doing that here shortly. We're gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be doing frozen thaw. I'm probably gonna open up a slight website. You know, nothing crazy because, like I said, Ken, I'm not trying to make a whole bunch of money doing this. But if I could
Right?
make a little something to put back into what I'm doing, then
Right?
that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I enjoy coming out here and doing this. You know, I've
Right.
been
Well,
losing nothing about 6 or 7 racks, but
yep, this is
here
just
in the
cool,
near
you
future,
know,
we're
that
gonna be doing that. So
someone on
if
my channel might
Mitzi's
actually be
interested,
buying some rats from
yeah,
you. That's awesome. This is
she
what,
can
you know, I want
she can
out
hit
of
me
this.
up
I
on
want people to
IG if they
network
need
through
them.
here and all that. That's awesome.
Hmm.
All right.
Definitely, but here pretty soon, I'd give it probably about the next. I'd give it 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll be ready to be able to feed somebody else's collection too.
All
hundred
right.
percent.
So 3 months,
You
Mitzi, he'll be ready. He'll have your rats
know,
for you.
because I had joy. Because I used to do, like I said, Ken, I only been doing it 13 months, man, and I've been doing this. I was breeding my rats inside. If y'all look at my videos, I've been
There you go,
doing
dude.
them inside at first. You know what I'm saying? And I just invested, bought me a little shed, and we gonna be doing a
Right?
lot more. So stay
Heck
tuned for
yeah.
that for sure, for sure. You know.
I was just talking to someone and they asked me what could they do to start this business, and I told them to get your rats down first. Get your food
So,
down, like put your money into your rat colonies
oh
first and get
yeah,
a
I want
real
to.
nice
No, hundred
process going
percent.
with it.
Seriously,
Like, and then when
literally
you start
looking to get
selling your
into.
snakes, you could also say, hey, locally, you know, I could sell you a rat with your snake. You know, every week, come back, I'll feed it, and you know, you're opening doors as you go. And yeah, if I did
Definitely.
anything different, I would have started my rats first, bigger, because I
And I
had
would.
rats, but I had one colony. They killed each other, and I was done.
And as we said, Ken, we only have one, two, three, four. We have 5 colonies, and we're keeping them
Right.
2 to 1 right now. You know, here next month, I'm looking to have another 5 colonies coming up over in this side. So that's why I said I give it another 3 months, and I'm gonna be right there ready to do my thing.
Heck yeah.
Definitely, but I would give that same advice, man. You know, start with some rats first because I don't know where they going. Because before I did my rats, I was paying $260 a week to feed my collection. You know, and as you see my videos, I like to feed a little often because I'm trying to get to an end result goal here, right? Because it's a
Right.
hobby, and I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to keep doing it
Heck
until
yeah.
this happens. So.
Right.
But yeah, definitely. And the rats are expensive, man. They're $7 for a wean rat where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
seven
Right.
dollars for a wean rat, and 13 for a jumbo rat.
That's
You know.
crazy. So the last question I have for you, and we got a couple quickie questions for you, is if you could sit down and have coffee with any historical figure, who would it be?
Um,
I mean, it could be historical for any reason. You know what I mean? As long as it's someone who's fast.
It'd probably be my mom. Yeah,
Yep. All right,
definitely.
your mom. All right. It'd probably be
Definitely.
my dad. Just to have like one last cup of coffee with my dad would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it'd be my first and my last, but yeah, definitely. That's
Right.
what I was doing.
Oh well, hell yeah! If it'd be your first, heck yeah, that's definitely
Definitely.
understandable.
So
All right,
that's what I was doing.
we're getting down close to an hour, and we like to keep it to an hour here because maybe someday you like to come back. It's short, sweet, come back on a couple months. But we like to do some quickie questions at the end. You for Coke or Pepsi?
Coach.
All right. BK or McDonald's?
Probably McDonald's.
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 Skydive or just hell no? I ain't getting up in the plane and jumping.
I go.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
hell yeah.
I do it.
You would
Hell yeah,
dance,
can I try it?
right? Are you dancing? Are you not dancing? Or are you just one of them slow dance only guys?
Uh, I I dance, in the
I
right
dance, yeah,
situation,
right.
I dance with my wife in the kitchen, so
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I just dance because I want to dance sometimes. I mean,
definitely.
I can't dance. I am not good at dancing at all, and I
Well,
know I'm not. I
I
look
can't
goofy
dance
as
though.
fuck, but hey, who cares? I'm
We give it a shot though.
6'2", 250, and I'm trying to get
Oh,
down. I ain't getting
Ken, if you
down
6'2",
shit,
Ken, if you 6'2", bro, you're not even gonna fit in the ranch hood, bro. I mean, it's not as
right?
tall as you think.
6'2", don't get down.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't get low either. My getting low is getting even.
Definitely. Oh, and another thing, Ken, when you're breeding the rats, dude, I like to use this clear tubing too. That's something I learned too, because when you gotta flush your system, right?
Right,
Let's see, flip you around. See how clear it is on this side?
right,
This is a test that I'm doing. This was installed a month and a half ago.
right.
This is 3 months later.
All right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we got a quarter tank right here, right?
right.
So at the end of this quarter tank, we're gonna do a flush cycle and flush this hose out. See, a
All
lot
right.
of people run that black hose, and they run it for years on end and never know.
No, like
I
I would
mean,
want to flush that
you gotta
out too.
clean that out. You gotta clean it
Right,
out, because you're essentially feeding your kids this, and you don't want them to get sick or nothing, And what you're feeding your rats is what's going into your snakes, right?
right.
And I can't
Heck
tell you
yeah.
how many rats I've tried, and people are like, "Oh, well, why don't you go to the pet store and buy a bunch of rats for your colony?" And the reason I'm going so slow, Kim, is because when I'm breeding these rats, I'm only holding back rats that I breed because
Uh
I
huh.
got good, strong colonies, right? I went
Right.
to the feed store a bunch of times and bought 13, 14 of them and spent 120 bucks, 110 bucks quick. Like, in every 3 days I come in here, one or two of them's
Right.
dead. And it's like,
Right.
and you look at them real close
Something's
and on
got
their snout,
changed.
they have a whole bunch of fungus and, the red stuff on their nose. That's why I separate and put them a whole different rack than my breeders, right?
Right.
To make sure they don't have nothing. But it's too much of a hassle to do that. So I
Yeah.
would rather hold back ones I breed and then go grab a couple feeders and feed the ones that I need to really feed at the time.
Right. So,
So,
what is your go-to munchie?
uh, go to munchie. I'd have to say some hot Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Definitely
You
hot
Cheeto guy.
Cheetos.
All right.
Yeah,
What's your favorite
definitely.
movie?
Um, favorite movie? Um, probably The Exorcist.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah,
Exorcists, like the original
yeah,
one, the old school
yeah.
one.
Not yeah, the old one. No, the new one's good too, though. Yeah,
Jesus, let Jesus, let
the
Jesus.
new
Yeah.
one's good, but I like scary movies, so
Dude, when I was
I
a
call it
young kid,
scary
when I was
movies.
a little kid and seen that for the first time, I was like, that bitch is crazy.
Definitely.
All right, so the last question overall I got for you is if you could go on a game show, past or present, what would it be?
You already know. The Price is Right.
Price is right, bitch. Hell yeah. I mean, there's a couple other cool games, but you can't get no better than The Price is Right. Like, you just can't.
Yeah. These things you be wanting to keep all of them when you start breeding them, though, Ken.
See, I don't have a problem feeding them off. I hate rats.
Yeah,
They stink.
they're
They're just
not
dirty
bad
little
though.
creatures. I don't like them.
I don't know. They're really clean though.
All right, yeah, okay. I mean, the ASF I had wasn't.
No, I think they're really clean. They're not bad. I
Well,
ain't
then
never
you got good
experienced
ones
none.
then, because I don't know what you're talking about, because that just
But then
stinks.
I come in here and clean them every 3 days too. Like
All right, well,
sitting in
yeah,
here, there's no problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
every 3 days and you're good,
Like
right?
see all my bins. That's a colony growing up. All my bins, they're not. You know, 3 4 days. That's it, and clean it out. You know.
Yeah, well, Mitzi will even take some pet rats. She's saying.
Yeah, definitely. I've gotten rid of some pet rats. I've sold some pet rats depending on what they want. You know.
Right.
So I've sold some of them. I sold 2 pet rats, and they still
All
send
right.
me pictures to this day. Definitely,
All right, dude.
definitely.
We're at that hour mark.
All
Dragos,
right, Ken.
Derek, you've been awesome, dude.
All right, bro. I
Hell yeah.
appreciate it, man.
We'll have to do this again. Chat,
Yeah,
thanks for
definitely. Let
staying
us
here.
know, man. Let
Kind
us
of a
know,
slower
bro.
night than usual, but hey, I still appreciate you all the same. I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you later.
All right, Ken.
Peace.
You have a good one, brother.